Welcome! Today I am coming to you from the southern part of Bruny Island in Tasmania, the Bruny Island Hideaway. This place is so incredible. I've just spent the last couple of days here and I am absolutely blown away. It is a hideaway in every sense of the word because it's surrounded by 99 acres of wilderness. If you keep up to speed with architecture things, you might have seen this place before. So this place has been picked up and covered by a heap of architecture books, publications, YouTube channels, very, very well known. It's a 99 acre plot of land and it's forested probably about 80%, and then it has a couple of paddocks where an original homestead used to be, and this is where the owner has constructed the tiny home. The architects tried to convince her to build it high up on the hill over behind us here because that part of the block actually has water views, but the owner, she fell in love with this site, and I know why. I've done the same thing. I'm completely in love with this site. It is a huge open field which has slowly been reclaimed by native vegetation and young ferns and bracken and native trees, but it's still largely, I'd say, pasture, but it's kind of more of a moss, the ground, which feels amazing to walk on barefoot, by the way, if you get the chance. Go for a run around the paddock here, have a bath, and then walk around outside and just feel the moss under your feet. It's incredible. There's so many features on this block of land. My brain's scattered. I actually don't know where to even begin to start talking about it. There's just so much going on here, but I'm going to do my best to try to take you guys through it before this video ends. So, a beautiful piece of land. Now, my absolute favorite part of this entire property, I mean, the cabin's great, it's phenomenal, we'll get to that. I'd love to build my own one just like it, but there is something, in my opinion, which actually eclipses the cabin, and that's the trees and the woods right to the left of the cabin, which you can see just behind me here. I don't know if you've ever camped anywhere or stayed anywhere or just been anywhere as a child or even an adult, but for me it was a child, where you've got such precious memories from running around these kind of big giant trees, playing hide and seek and building cubby houses and forts and that sort of thing. This place has taken me right back to that. It's got a very nostalgic feeling being here. There's endless amounts of places to explore over there. You can climb up in the trees. The owner is part the way through building a tree house with a suspension bridge to a second platform. So it's under construction at the moment. I had her permission to go up there and she took me up there herself. If you do stay, you shouldn't climb up there because it's not really safe, but I went up there with the owner. So when you arrive at the property, the driveway is really special too. It builds to the experience. I think it's because the further you go, it gets a little steeper, it gets a bit rockier, gets a little kind of bumpier. You have a real sense of kind of isolation. So there's a gate at the property with a padlock key. I locked it again just so I had that real sense of like, yep, this place is mine. No one's coming down the driveway. No one's going to turn up unexpectedly and kind of annoy me. You come around a corner and then there it is. The forest kind of parts way and you start to see the clearing, and sitting there robustly right in the center of the paddock is the big triangular shape of the cabin. It's very impressive when you first see it and you're just like, there it is, that's the thing from the pictures, from the books, from the magazines. It really is actually, it's better than what you see in online publications and magazines. This has to be seen to be believed. It has to be experienced to be able to appreciate it. When you pull up, you have 2 parking spots directly in front of the cabin, and there's actually this screen, a threshold, that was designed to be a storage shed for the utilities, so the gas is stored in there, place to store firewood, but also it was designed to be a threshold to walk through to give you a greater sense of arrival at the property. Also, another thing which it does is once you're back in the cabin looking back, it actually shields the cars from view. The idea is that once you're here, you just want to be here and kind of not have any other distractions, and even seeing a shiny vehicle or, in my case, a bomb, That's going to change soon though. Some local eucalyptus trees were milled and sawed to make these little discs, a nice little natural walkway through to the cabin. This has to be one of the simplest, cleanest, well-crafted cabins I've ever set foot in. The owner has spent quite a lot of time living in Taiwanese but also Japanese inspired architecture. The entire interior of the cabin is clad in a Baltic pine, so it's an incredibly light, golden, soft timber. It's kind of has a little bit of a Scandinavian vibe, but then you can see the Eastern influence as well with the daybed area in particular. It is 320 square feet approximately. The dimensions are 8 meters by 4 meters, so not a huge footprint, but it does have a loft bedroom, so that gives you a bit of additional space. You climb up this beautiful Baltic pine ladder. It's quite steep, so be careful, but there's some really solid handrails with no less than a king-size memory foam mattress. And I slept so well on this thing. I usually am a little fussy when it comes to mattresses at Airbnbs and that sort of thing, but this thing, man, I was lights out. Awesome sleep, super soft, a dream. The bathroom is minimalist, clean space. This place does have a really incredible bath. It's built into the deck. You lift off the timber grills and then underneath you've got a beautiful, beautiful bathtub. Absolutely glorious. Can't beat it. Yeah, get amongst it. This brings me to the decks of this property. Once you open up these full sliding doors, it brings the outside in, but it also gives you these 2 additional deck areas, which adds about an extra third of your floor area. You're now going from a tiny cabin to a not so tiny cabin. There's often one main reason that I want to stay somewhere, whether it's an outdoor bath or an incredible view, but it's rare to come across a property and a place to stay that brings, 4, 5, 6 amazing features which you won't find anywhere else. It challenges you on what you need versus what you don't need. There's a really big movement over the last couple of years and now in building in the tiny home movement and in minimalism, and this place is a great place to stay because it'll kind of get you thinking about what makes me happy. It really encourages you to kind of slow down and experience life at a slower pace. I'll leave all the details for this property linked down in the description. I hope you've really enjoyed this video. If you did, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. Next week, I am going to be taking you through the Granary Richmond Hill, a convict-built, rustic, luxury country farm retreat, and I cannot wait to show you around this place.